Hello. Today I have a fairly exciting video to share with you, as I wanted to make a follow-up video to my Meticulous Appraiser video I made a few weeks ago. But this time I wanted to add more math to it to more accurately determine how many T1 and T0 uniques should someone expect in this farm and how much currency the expected value of these drops are. To start off, I looked up an unconfirmed list of T1 and T0 uniques from the PoE wiki and found there are likely 12 T0 uniques and 62 T1 uniques. I then selected some of these uniques that don't have divination cards that would skew the numbers to see how many total individual T1 or T0 uniques have dropped so far this league by looking at the PoE trade website for online and offline listings. This is a rough estimate, but my best guess is that 1,450 of each T1 has dropped and 400 of each T0 has dropped. This means that T0 drops are roughly 18.9 times rarer than T1 drops, discounting divination cards, and people vendoring low-value T0 or T1 uniques. So for simple math, let's put the number at 20 times rarer. I then use this number to calculate expected drops from my Meticulous Appraiser strategy, as I have ran a total of 200 maps to better determine the accuracy of my numbers. This resulted in roughly 20 T1 uniques dropping in 100 maps using 0 quantity gear, and roughly 30 T1 uniques dropping using 61 quantity gear, with both of these gear sets having 500 rarity. I say roughly because some of the T1 uniques are being filtered out because I am using an extremely strict filter that filters out any unique under 10C, because I don't want to hover over the roughly 20,000 uniques that have dropped during my testing. Also, I dropped a single T0 unique in my first 100 maps with 0 quantity gear, but I dropped 0 T0 uniques in my 61% quant run. Now that we have a total number of uniques that dropped and the number I experienced fairly accurately matched the 18.9 rarer number I determined from looking at the PoE website, we can now calculate the expected value of each category of uniques, assuming each unique has an equivalent chance of dropping in each tier. And at 52 divines expected value for each T0 drop and a quarter divine expected for each T1 drop, we can do some math to see how much currency per hour this will generate. Now, just looking at the T1 and T0 uniques, running my juiced 60% Reliquary Scarab and Sextant strat I will show later, I estimate that you will get 1 to 3.5 divine per hour depending on how strong your build is or how much magic find gear you have. Then on top of that 1 to 3.5 divine number, you can add on all the non-T1 and T0 uniques that dropped, all random currency drops, and all Delirium words, and you should expect to get roughly 10 divines per hour, which is a very solid strategy, but has the downside of being extremely volatile if you don't drop a Mageblood, Headhunter, or Calandra's Touch. If you are unlucky in the short term, your divine per hour will be closer to 4 to 7 divines per hour, but at this stage in my PoE career, I put fun over maximizing currency per hour, and dropping T0 uniques, in my opinion, is a lot more fun than dropping divine cards or something more stable. Now here is a screenshot of some of the uniques that dropped running 80 maps using my 61 quant setup, and in the bottom left are some of the T1s that dropped, though again, some T1s were being filtered, and I also vendored a T1 jewel early in the farming process. Along with these T1s, I put the only T0 drop in the center with a Lion's Eye Glare I got during my first 100 map test, and under it are the most valuable drops I got throughout the 200 maps, with a 32% attribute and spell damage Eyes of the Great Wolf, and a +3 Ice Spear Amulet, both of these being valued at over 10 divines in League. Other items that drop pretty frequently that either have high value due to their high demand, like Heat Shiver or Coward's Trial, make up a decent amount of currency, along with other items that gain value with high rolls that are a lot more frequent, like Black Sun Crest or Immortal Flesh, which can be vendored with a 3-to-1 recipe for a chance at higher value, since these pretty much drop every single map. Lastly, the farming strategy I used is based on Breach, which has high number of rares and magic moms, Tormented Spirits, which give insane quantity and rarity to rares in the map, Rogue Exiles, which are always tormented, thus have insane quantity and rarity, and Altars, which give duplicate uniques and quantity bonuses, which are just straight up multipliers to the strategy. Since I've only tested 200 maps, I don't know the best option for the remaining 20 to 30 points, but Delirium, Beyond, Beasts, Abyss, Shrines, or Alva look like viable options. So, in conclusion, to better determine the accuracy of the numbers that I'm using, feel free to share your results in the comment or ask any questions if you have them. Thanks.